Kev, I just want to get your initial reaction to Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
I mean, honestly, it was a classic. I can't say much. I mean, early on in the game, it looked like Milwaukee was kind of pulling away. It looked like Phoenix really couldn't get much going, and then Phoenix kind of cut that lead down sizably, and we went into halftime relatively close. The third quarter started, and obviously, both teams came out firing, and Giannis ended up going completely off, scoring 20 points in the third quarter alone. Unfortunately, the supporting cast at the time seemed to be lackluster, not really much support, but Giannis kind of literally put the team on his back this entire game. Like Kyle said, we're talking 50 points in an NBA Finals closeout game. Only one other person has scored that same amount, and that was Bob Pettit in 1958. That's insane. Like, to put that into perspective, in a closeout game, he scored more than Michael Jordan has in a finals game. Like, I mean that says it in itself. He's also the first NBA player, I believe, to have 50 points, 15 rebounds, or wait, 50 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks in an NBA Finals game. Like, we're talking 2K numbers here. And Giannis did it with little to no help overall on the Bucks side. And I mean, if we're looking at it as an overall perspective of a game, it was a classic for sure. It was entertaining. It's very, 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 very unfortunate that Phoenix literally went cold for the majority of that later half of the fourth. I mean, they just could not get into a rhythm, turning the ball over, stupidity on the fouls portion, lackluster defense. I mean, you name it. Phoenix kind of just fell apart in that fourth quarter. But at the same time, they kept themselves in it with their occasional twos, some free throws. But overall, man, super, super, super happy for the Bucks. Again, I did not choose the Bucks to win. I believe Kyle and I owe them an apology. We kind of had Phoenix winning this without a doubt. Even if Giannis was there, we did not expect the health of Giannis Antetokounmpo to be at this level. And they hoisted up the trophy, rightfully so. And PJ Tucker is an NBA champion.
It's wild. Not only is he known for the shoes and apparently fouling everybody in sight on the court, but now he could claim that he's an NBA champion as well. So you got to give him a little tip to the cap to PJ for that. To talk about the game, though, Milwaukee got off to a fantastic start. They won the first quarter 29-16. Phoenix just could not get into any sort of offensive rhythm in the first half. And then you saw Milwaukee kind of take a step back in the second quarter. They really struggled as a team in the second quarter. They only scored 13 points, and you saw Phoenix take advantage of that. They went into halftime up. This was despite the fact that they were down 16 points at one point in the first quarter. So you have to give Phoenix some credit for showing some resiliency early in the first half of the game. And then the second half happened, and just Giannis just dominated the game. I mean, if I remember correctly, didn't he score 20 points again in the third quarter? This is not the first time that it's happened in this series.
Yeah,
So,
I think it was game 2 or 3.
because at halftime, I believe he was somewhere around like 17, maybe 20 points. And then he has a phenomenal third quarter, and then he follows it up with the fourth quarter, knocking down some critical shots for Milwaukee. Not only was he knocking down shots, but Kev, he was knocking down his free throws tonight. He was amazing from the free throw line tonight. 17 of 19. Throughout the entirety of the series, he was maybe somewhere around like 55, maybe 60% from the free throw line. And then in this game, in the most pivotal game for the series for Milwaukee, 17 and 19 from the free throw line, that's outstanding. 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks, like you mentioned. It's one of the best closeout performances I've ever seen in an NBA Finals game. I've seen it from LeBron. I've seen it from Kobe. I've seen it from Kevin Durant. I can honestly say at this point, this is the best closeout performance I've ever seen in an NBA Finals game in my lifetime. Just from what I've seen, like I know like Michael Jordan was alive when I was born, like I was maybe like 2 or 3, but I don't really remember anything when Jordan was in the league at that time. But with my own eyes, in real time, this is the best closeout finals performance I've ever seen. So I have to give Giannis a lot of credit for that. To put up 50 points in the most crucial game of the series, you gotta clap it up for Giannis. I mean, it's like you mentioned though, not a lot of help from his counterparts tonight. outside of maybe Bobby Portis and maybe Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis was huge for Milwaukee coming off the bench, though. 16 points. He knocked down a couple 3-point shots, and I thought for the most part he shot particularly well. He was 6 of 10 from the field, so if you're getting 60% shooting from Bobby Portis, it's a good nod to Portis for playing well. Chris Middleton, 6 of 13, really wasn't that big of a focal point in the offense tonight. And to talk about Drew Holiday, look, Drew Holiday had a fantastic Game 5. I mentioned a couple days ago that might have been an anomaly from Drew just because he had shown some inconsistency throughout the series in his offensive game. And that kind of did show again tonight. He was only 4 and 19 from the field. And he just could not get into any sort of rhythm whatsoever. But the star of the show is Giannis. Giannis was clearly the favorite to win the NBA Finals MVP. It is well deserved. And listen, I'm just thrilled for Milwaukee. Kevin, there were 65,000 people outside of that arena tonight. The fact that the whole town not only, wins an NBA championship, but now they could just party their asses off the entire night. I imagine Milwaukee's not going to be sleeping tonight. And, you have to give a lot of credit to the players. They earned this, and the coaching staff as well. I know we always focus on the players here, but Mike Budenholzer and the coaching staff, got to give them a lot of credit. They put these guys in situations where they were able to excel and succeed. And to come back from 2-0, looked like Phoenix was going to be kind of the runaway favorite after being up 2-0 in the series. But Milwaukee shows resilience. They bounce back in a huge way, and they win 4 consecutive games to close out a series. And Giannis is dropping 50 points at the end of the series. Respect. I got to give a tip to the cap for that.